video, guys. Today is very, very important. We're about to talk about the fallacy of Easter. A lot of people are probably going to be celebrating this very soon, today, tomorrow, if they already have it, right? So now we're going to get down to, I'm going to briefly go through the introduction. I'm going to go through the origin and everything dealing with it, okay, guys? Let the notification go right quick. It just came out. Wait a few minutes. Hope everybody's having a grand rising. I just want to send peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Rawabat, Ashuk Ashe, Shalom, Rawabat, Huamana. What I just spoke was Hebrew and Arabic. All right. All right, let's get to it. The fallacy of Easter. Each year, millions of people worldwide faithfully observe the so-called holy day Easter, with Easter bunnies, Easter eggs, Easter bonnets, etc. Now ask yourselves these questions. What do any of these things have in relation to the story of the Messiah? Can you see any logical connection between brightly colored eggs, cottontail rabbits, new hats, and the account of the life and so-called crucifixion / resurrection of the Messiah? Easter, however, is considered to be one of the most important holidays. It is supposed to be the high point in the religious year. Why then, I ask, are you unable to find modern Eastern traditions revealed and explained in the scriptures as the practice of the Messiah and his disciples? Anew, the Most High's will regarding religious customs is summed up in this one command. Thus, you should not celebrate these pagan festivals. Make no mistake. Anu is the ancient name of the Most High. Anu, Elion, Elion, El. Okay? Anu, the Most High, will allow you to defy and disobey him. He will allow you to follow the crowd and the traditions of men. But he also says there is a day of reckoning coming. All right? That's a brief introduction. Now let's get down to this meat. All right? Easter, its origin and meaning. Easter, like many other pagan holidays that are celebrated by the world alike, found its origin in the Babylonian Empire ruled by Nimrod. The word Babel, meaning confusion, chaos, vanity, and emptiness or nothingness. Babylon was the first major civilization founded by Nimrod and his followers. Today, New York City is the capital of the new Babylonian Empire. All right? Nimrod was the son of Cush, the son of Ham, who was the son of the apostle Noah. Also, Utafishna is his ancient name, and was regarded by many as a master hunter. At first, Nimrod ruled Syria, Persia, and all the Tigris-Euphrates area. When he became established on the throne of royalty, Nimrod governed his subjects with justice until the expiration of a considerable time. He was blessed with prosperity and good fortune, as long as he was still following the ways of ancient Sumer or the Anunnaki Elohim. Shalom, shalom, humana. Of the Anunnaki Elohim. You know this to be true from Genesis 10:10, where it speaks of the fortress of Kalnu, meaning fortress of Anu, who is the Most High. Elion, Elion El, the only true El. At first, Nimrod governed his subjects with justice until Satan, in the form of Merlin, the magician, the unequally champion in the art of seduction, inspired him, Nimrod, with diabolical suggestions of haughtiness and tyranny. It was then that Nimrod overstepped the dignity of a king and claimed himself to be the partner of Anu the Most High, and eventually Anu the Most High himself. In Hebrew, a dialect of Assyria, Nimrod means will rebel or let us rebel. Nimrod was in complete opposition to the laws and commandments of Anu the Most High. The system of his opposition was to control the Amorite, mountain dwellers cursed with leprosy, so as to have them believe that Nimrod was the creator and was to be worshipped as such. All right, now pay attention, guys. This is when we're going to start getting into the correlation of this and Easter, okay? Nimrod was so overbearing, it is said that he married his own mother, whose name was Semiramis. Excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. She became the queen of heaven. Through the generations, through this adulterous worship, Nimrod also became the false Messiah, the son of Baal, the sun god. In his false Babylonian system, the mother and child became chief objects of worship. The worship of mother and child spread over the world. The names varying in different countries and languages. For example, in Egypt, it was Isis' mother, Horus' child. Even in Greece, China, Japan, and Tibet, there is a counterpart of the Madonna, made up long before the birth of the Messiah. China, Shinmu, Holy Mother. Egypt, Isis, goddess, and Horus, child. Epos, Dina, mother of gods. Greece, Aphrodite, goddess. Israel, Ashtaroth, goddess, and Baal, child. Rome, Venus, goddess, and Jupiter, child. Scandinavia, Disa. Ancient Germans, Hertha. Etruscans, Nutria. The Druids, Virgo. India, Indrana. Asia, Cybele and son Dionysus. The Hindu believe in the Trinity, which is three gods that are supreme over the demigods, such as Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, the god of destruction. It was during the 4th and 5th centuries that the pagans of Western Europe were accepting the newly popular theology by the hundreds and thousands. They did not hesitate to carry out their old customs and traditions along with them. So along came the Trinity, Christmas, Easter, and many other pagan practices that people today attribute to the Messiah. Referred to Els Holy Injil, the book of Revelation, scroll number 174. Nowadays, the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church is symbolic of Nimrod. Once they became of the church and started to celebrate the feast, which comes in the spring, they kept the old name of their spring goddess. The feast became known as Easter. The word Easter and the German word Ostern came from a common origin: Oster, Easter, Ostera, and Oyster, which to the Norseman meant the season of growing, sun, the season of new birth. The word was used to designate the feast of new life in the spring. The same root is found in the name for the place where the sun rises, the east. The word Easter then originally meant the celebration of the sun, of the spring sun, which has its origin in the east and brought new life upon the earth. This symbolism was then transferred during the Christian era to the meanings of the Easter you all know today, which is supposed to represent the new life of the Messiah, or what the Christians call his resurrection. Was the Messiah Jesus resurrected? Pay attention. Was the Messiah Jesus resurrected?
Yeah.
Answer, no. No. The most avid advocates of the so-called resurrection are the Christians, but even most Muslims, especially the Sunni Orthodox Muslims, don't understand it. They don't even have the proper understanding of the meaning of the word resurrection. Let's take a look at the word resurrection. To resurrect means to have unalived and came back to life in a spiritual sense from out of the dirt, a resurgence. This rising will only take place on the last day. The resurrection of the Messiah. The American Heritage Dictionary defines resurrection as 1, rising from the unaliving, returning to life. The state of those who have returned to life. A returning to practice, notice, or use, rebirth. The rising again of Christ on the third day after the crucifixion. The rising again of the unaliving at the last judgment. Thus, the resurrection in the spiritual return on the last day, according to the Muslims' belief, it is known as the Day of Standing. A lot of me, guys. I'm trying to be fast, but I'm trying to be profound at the same time. According to Wabu, it's Yawam Shil Dagon. Since the Messiah did not unalive by crucifixion, there is no reason to believe he resurrected. In actuality, the Messiah, Jesus, lived to be the ripe old age of 120 years. Yeshua bar Maryam, who unalived at the age of 120, should not be mistaken with the Yeshua to come known as Tammuz, the son of Ishtar and Dammuz. These are Anunnaki beings, the we, in the beginning of the book of Genesis. The appointed deity, Tammuz, is with the Most High anew, awaiting his return. See, you got to remember, all these names, symbols, and things, they flipped everything that we had and made it seem evil. So now our people are rejecting who we are. We are rejecting our origin. People all over the world, people of all different races, people are put under a spell of the Bible. Certain races have actually forgotten the origin of their species, the origin of their race. They don't know. And the people that do know, they try to hide it. They take things, artifacts, rewrite things, change names. So Tammuz, Ishtar, and Dammuz, these people are the we that they didn't explain to us in the book of Genesis, in the Holy Bible of King James, correct? Let's keep going. Ancient Sumerian customs, you are taught not to say that those who unalive in the path of Anu the Most High are unalive. Instead, their soul is with Anu the Most High. Originally, Easter was called the Feast of Feasts, Sunday Pesach, by many nations in different tongues, such as Greeks, Romanians, Italians, Spaniards, Portuguese, French, Norwegians, Danes, and Gaels. The festival which you read about in the so-called scriptures during the time of the Messiah was quite a different festival from the one that you now observe in the Roman and Protestant churches. And at that time, it is not known by any such name as Easter. It was called the Pesach or the Passover. 1 second, guys, 1 second. Come here, baby, what's wrong? Come here, what's wrong? One second, guys. Excuse me.
You good?
All right. A different festival from the one that is now observed in the churches. And that time, it was not known by any such name as Easter. It was called Passover, or the Passover. That festival originally agreed with the Israelites' Passover. It was not adulterous. Easter in mistranslation. There is no command or example in the scriptures to justify the celebration of Easter, although I am sure that many of you will point out Acts 12:4, where translators have purposely removed the word Passover and replaced it with Easter. The use of the word Easter in this quote is a mistranslation. According to the so-called biblical authorities, there are approximately 50,000 errors in the King James Version of the Bible. They also state that today, most of these errors have been corrected by modern translators who took upon themselves to add things. Now, according to studies done by the so-called authorities, there are even some passages that were not included in the original Greek and Latin translations of the New Testament. One point in question was whether or not the Messiah actually told his accusers of the harlot, "He that is without sin among you, let him cast a stone at her." Many Christians base their teachings around the stories of Acts, actions of the apostles, thinking that it was a divinely inspired book. In reality, this book was based on hearsay and was a hadith, stories, tales, or words of man. Luke, a Greek physician and a disciple of Paul, Saul, 13th self-appointed apostle, was no way related to any of the 12 disciples. Refer to the scroll number 61, St. Paul, disciple or deceiver. This hadith was ascribed to Luke, but both Luke and Paul really wrote it. Since Paul closely oversaw the writings of the stories of the Acts, he was really the author. When Luke referred to we in his works, it proves he was talking about Paul and himself. The stories of the Acts is supposed to provide the life story of Paul, Saul, the 13th self-appointed apostle. Many Christians are confused why I say the books of the New Testament are tampered with and still use them. I must stress again that I don't disregard all hadith. There are some good in them and can be used if they can be confirmed by the scriptures. I teach that they are not the words of the Most High. So our people do not mix them up with the words of the Most High. All right. Let's see here. You gotta forgive me, guys. My daughter's having one of her moments. So I might have to wrap this up short. So I'm gonna try to get through this right here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, guys? Here we go. Only books with validity of the New Testament are the book of Revelations and the book of the prophet John. For many years, you have been led to believe that Easter means the resurrection of the Messiah. It is not. This holiday has nothing to do with the Messiah. Go get your bottle, baby. Go get it. Bring it to me. It is not. This holiday has nothing to do with the Messiah. And the first Christians, or should I say Nazarenes, did not celebrate. In reality, it is merely the translated English spelling of the name of the ancient Assyrian and Babylonian goddess Ishtar. The Phoenician name of this goddess was Ashtarti, wife of Baal, the sun god, whose worship is denounced by the Most High as the most abominable of all pagan adultery. Refer to Judges 10, 11 through 13. Okay. They just attribute the name Isis to Egypt when the bird itself is a Greek word. It appears on Assyrian monuments found in excavations at Navinia as Ishtar. Ishtar is the same name as Ishtar, and they are both pronounced as Easter. According to the New Webster's Library of Universal Knowledge, Easter is divine.
You well in the wrong, girl.
In honor of whom a festival was celebrated in April, whence the month was called Easter, connected with Easter. April is the month when Christian Jews celebrate Easter. It was the second month in the early Roman calendar, but became the fourth month when Julius Caesar established the Julian calendar in 46 BC. All right, guys, unfortunately, I'm having to stop here.
Hold on.
That's a little synopsis about Easter. Y'all guys go do more research on it. Check out this video, take notes. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be doing this previously, today, tomorrow. We're not supposed to be doing it, guys. That's the truth right there. That's the information. Love you guys. Peace and blessings. Shalom, Ruman, and Rahbat. Grand Risings.